Hey, everybody, it's Matt Kalinsky again, USA Staffing Services. Today is Thursday. It's a great day, tons of energy in the office. And I wanted to address a couple of reoccurring issues that we're seeing with our authorized dealers in terms of answering some questions. So right away, I'm going to jump in, bring Shane Burrell back on. He's our revenue manager. He's a great sales manager, helps with our marketing. And so let's bring Shane on and let's see. How you doing, Shane?
Good. Great to be back. How are you today?
Oh man, I can't be back. Can't complain. Beautiful weather here. So I
Absolutely.
wanted to bring you in on this call just to see, hey, what type of questions are we hearing from the authorized dealers now that the economy's starting to get back open? What are we seeing in from them, and what questions can we answer today?
Yeah, absolutely. As we mentioned yesterday on the call, a lot of people are starting to get things going with their clients now that the economy's opening back up. Clients are starting to request some job orders.
Of
The
course.
main question we're getting asked is as far as pricing. How will this affect my pricing? Whether it's the contract, how do I price out my contract opportunities, and how will that affect my direct hires?
Sure. So from an authorized dealer standpoint, our independent recruitment offices, how are they going to do pricing moving forward? Is that the question?
Yep, exactly.
All right,
How
cool.
can contract to perm affect my direct hire as well?
Perfect. All right. Yeah. Well, let's touch base on that. Thank you, Shane. Get back to work.
Have a good one.
All right. So the topic of today's talk is going to be, as an independent recruitment firm, whether you're doing permanent placement, temp to perm, or temporary, how is your pricing structure going to change or modify, or should it change or modify once the economies are opening up? And this is a tough question. We don't really understand what's going to happen, how quickly the economy is going to come up. But I do have a few pieces of advice that I've been telling our authorized dealers who've called in, and during our scheduled CEO monthly meetings, we've been talking about this over the past 4 weeks or so. And really, the examples I talk about really reflect kind of how you should approach pricing. So, before COVID, pre-COVID, we were seeing permanent direct hire placement firm fees going as high as 33%, 35% of the first year's salary. That's the highest I've ever seen over the last 15 years. 33% is a great number. That really shows the value of the recruiter. And pre-COVID, we had very low unemployment rates. So it was like finding a needle in a haystack, but in this case, there were very few candidates. Most of the candidates were working on jobs. They might not have been compensated appropriately. They were looking for something, a new challenge. And so the fee associated with that recruitment fee, that 30%, let's say, was for finding the best of the best workers who had a job, who were pretty much happy with their job or slightly dissatisfied. They weren't so unsatisfied that they were going to quit, but they were looking. They had their application out there. Maybe they were interested in some conversations. So the fee for that was going to find the best of the best workers who were having a job, and true recruitment skills were pulling them out from one company, putting them into another company on a permanent placement. And that's great. That's why that fee was so high pre-COVID. Now we have a little bit of a switch going on right now. Currently, the latest numbers I saw, 38 million people unemployed, 15 to 20% of the population unemployed at this time. Some of those people will go back to their same job they had, but there will be a certain number of people that will be without a job. And so I predict that the unemployment rate will be between 8 and 10% for the next 6 to 9 months. And so it puts a little bit of a challenge from a recruitment standpoint and staffing. To counteract that, though, currently, right now, the people who are applying for jobs are some of the best candidates around because they were let go because their company had to shut down or their company was forced to furlough employees. And the best of the best workers are actively looking for jobs. They want more than what unemployment is paying. They want to get back in the workforce quickly. So we have that natural opportunity. But if a company was using a recruitment firm before, they were using them for the purpose of there weren't that many applicants. Today and moving forward for the next 6 months, customers are going to use recruitment firms because there's too many candidates. They want to find that best of the best person. And so they're going to still pay a recruitment firm to find it. But it's just a matter of maybe the payment terms will be a little bit different. I'll touch base on that in a little bit. But really, they kind of went from finding people who are actively working to now paying recruiters to sift through hundreds or thousands of applications to find that perfect candidate, the best qualified, the person who has the most experience in that specific industry amongst thousands of resumes. And so companies, they just don't have that resources to be able to sift through them, interview them, phone call them, face-to-face or video chat for interviews. And so that's the purpose. So I think that the service fee overall is going to stay about the same, probably normalized at that 25%, which we've seen for 15 years on average is about 20 to 25% of the first year's salary. So I don't think we'll see that 30 to 35%, but we should still be in that 20 to 25. But the core of the question is really, what is your value as a recruiter? And I think I want to do an exercise with you real quick, and I'm going to do a couple other videos on this topic. But as a recruiter or as a recruitment company, as an operation, the value that I would assess to your skills is, what is your placement fee per candidate? What's your value per candidate? So a lot of people talk about revenue, top line revenue, bottom line revenue. I think a good KPI for recruitment firms, whether it's permanent or temporary or temp to perm, is really how much gross profit do you receive per candidate you place? And so it's very simple. You just take all the candidates you placed in 2019, you assign your value of how much you made from them. If there were any guaranteed placement replacements that you had to do, like a 90-day replacement that you had to fill in, then you have to put that name on the list and put 0 because you didn't get paid for that second backfill, if you will, because it was part of that guarantee. And you take the total amount you earn, the total number of candidates you place, and you divide. So if you made 100,000 and you place 10 candidates, that means you make $10,000 per candidate. That's your value as a recruiter. And so depending on your industry, some industries have a lower service fee, some have a higher service fee. But as a recruiter, when you make a placement, how much on average are you going to make on a gross profit level? And the reason why I talk about gross profit and not revenue, in a direct hire, the revenue and the gross profit typically are the same. There's no real cost of goods sold. You're doing your recruitment, and then they start off working on the customer side. On the temporary or temp to perm, that cost of goods sold is the payroll you have to pay your employee or the employee for the weeks worked before they get converted over as a full-time employee. Sometimes that contract can last for 2 years. Sometimes it can last for 3 months. But in general, that temp to perm conversion, there's still a gross profit that you're going to be making. And so I don't want you to get caught up in the idea that your revenue for temporary is high, but your gross profit is low. It's really get in the habit of looking at your own gross profit. And if you have questions on that, I can help you. But really, when you place a candidate, whether it's direct hire or temp to perm or temporary placement, the value of that placement is really how you should evaluate your business. What is your value? How much gross profit are you making every time you put somebody in the field? Doesn't matter which. And what you'll find is when you're looking through the numbers and you're doing a little analysis, is that if not the same, you should be making more money on the temp to hire or temp to perm placements than you are on the direct hire placements. But it's different because you're making a little bit every week as opposed to one big check. The services are the same. You're still going through the resumes. You're still communicating with the customer. The difference is really when they sign up for employment, are they signing the employment paperwork of the customer or of you as an authorized dealer or USA Staffing if you're one of our authorized dealers? And that's the main difference. The value, the gross profit, is what you really should look at per placement. And so I compare this to car dealerships. Now, I drive a Mercury Milan 2010. I'm not one of those big fancy Porsche guys, but even if during this COVID period, Porsche is giving a small discount, it's still going to be 2 to 3 times or more the cost of a Toyota or a Nissan or most other cars, to be honest with you. There might be some discounts available, but if you are the Porsche of your industry, if you're specialized, if you bring the best of the best candidates, the most educated, the best experience, the hardest working candidates, you still deserve to charge those Porsche-based fees. If you're the recruiter who does a lot of volume and really self-admits that, yeah, you don't find the best of the best, but you get the job done, that's great too. But you have to realize that you can't compare yourself to the Porsche, and you have to realize where you sit. Now, you can always move up. And I would challenge you not to move down. You don't want to give your Porsche away for the value of a Toyota. It's nothing against Toyota, but Porsches are built better. You're a better industry. You're a better recruiter. You're a better recruitment company. And so you deserve to earn more money, and your customers will see that. Just like the Porsche dealers now, which I've heard of from my friends, not me, but my friends, they're giving some discounts, pay over time. Here's a lease option, or here, I'm going to lower your monthly lease payments, but at the end, you're going to owe us more when you buy out the lease type of thing. And that's the same model as a temp to perm. Listen, the Porsche dealer is still moving cars off the lot. They're still making sales. They're just giving better terms on it. They're not expecting you to write a $150,000 check today for your Porsche. What they're saying is, hey, pay $1,000 a month. And at the end, in 2 years or 3 years from now, this is what you would owe if you want it. And so very similar is the temp to perm model. So I'm going to challenge you, if you're an executive recruiter, direct hire perm placement, if you're used to making those transactions and making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 per placement, consider offering temp to perm as that same solution. You're going to provide the same solution to your customers. You're going to find the best of the best candidates at the most qualified, the best experience, but you're just going to give them terms, essentially, and you're going to be able to make more money off of them because of those terms. If you think that the Porsche dealer is actually making less off of a leased Porsche, you're wrong. They're making more money off of you. You just feel better. You only have to pay $1,000 a month. But and then very similarly, if I was looking for a car and I wanted that car, I needed that car, I'm going to go with it. So your customers are going to look for workers. They're looking for those people who maybe they tried to offer a job back and they didn't want to come back to work. Maybe they're ready to expand into a new market. And they need that higher level executive or a local sales rep. It doesn't matter. They want the best of the best, and you can provide that to them. Just realize that there's options when it comes to pricing. You don't have to stick with your direct hire pricing only. Offer terms to your customer. You'll make more. You make your customers happy. You'll make your candidates happy, and you'll make your bank account happy because you'll be making more money from those same placements. So if you'd like to learn more about it, that's my answer, is stick with what you know best. Stick in the industry. Probably hover between 20 and 25% for the first year salary for direct hires, but consider the fact that you can make that 30% just on a temp to perm placement. Our authorized dealers are doing it. They've been rocking the last 3 months for 2020. So far, it's been a wonderful year for our authorized dealers. They're offering better services. And so I think you should do. If you have any further questions, reach out to Shane or myself. Visit our website, usastaffingservices.com, or you can follow us on our YouTube page, our LinkedIn page, Facebook page. You know it. We're there on social media. We'll talk to you later.